My job is my number one investor of my business. That is a quote from Shawn Crenshaw when he was a guest on the Wins and Lessons podcast.
As quiet as it's kept, my job is my number one investor in my business.
And also, subscribe to the Wins and Lessons podcast. Episodes come out the 1st and 15th of the month. That quote right now is very relevant because of the controversy that's going on with Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown did a video saying that if you're an entrepreneur and you're not really making the money and your business is not funding your lifestyle and you need to borrow money from people to pay this and do that and you burn the bridges, it's time to get a job. And a lot of people were upset about it. So first and foremost, let's go to the clip of Tabitha Brown. And after the clip of Tabitha Brown, I want to play the clip of Shawn on the Wins and Lessons podcast. Then I'm going to give you my perspective on why this is great advice from a personal perspective. All right, check these out.
Real quick, that this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first, okay? You kind of been in this place for a long time, okay? Now listen, you got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. Your execution is not as good, okay? Your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And that doesn't mean it's not for you, but right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you, okay? And you're doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur. But you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to, okay, that it ain't working right now. Okay, it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work. But right now you need to go to work. You're gonna need to get a job, okay? And then keep working towards it, but at least you'll have a job while you are pursuing that thing. But right now, you need to get a job, baby. All right? That's it. I love you. Now go about your business. Okay, have a good night. Tomorrow have a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. Don't be mad at me.
Yeah, for my entire time building Ovation, I've for the majority of the time I've had a job.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've learned about working a 9-to-5 and being an entrepreneur is making the mental pivot that your job has a different purpose for you versus the purpose your job had prior.
Yeah.
So for me, because sometimes it feels like the job is in conflict with your entrepreneurial dreams.
Yeah.
I made the pivot. My job is now in complement of my entrepreneurial dreams because as quiet as it's kept, my job is my number one investor in my business. My job is my number one investor. So I treat my number one investor very, very important.
Yeah.
And I don't let no one talk me out of the importance that my number one investor has.
I love that. Yeah.
And so
like when you said getting a bonus check, I thought about that. Like, dang, I got a bonus check real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I get up every morning glad to go to work, glad to go to my 9-to-5. And no one's gonna talk me into, well, man, you could be doing so much more with the brand if you let your 9-to-5 go. I did that once. I did that, and man, it was the most stressful season of my life. Now, eventually, yes, one day, I'll be fortunate enough to have my brand be able to support me and itself, because that's what a business has to do. If you talking about quitting, your business has to support itself, all your dreams and aspirations, all the stuff you want to do. Plus, it's got to support you and any of your teammates.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't there yet. We're making some inroads on supporting. I mean, the business now is supporting itself, but supporting all the things that I'm doing, we still got a way to go. Yeah. But that's why my job is that much more important. So I tell entrepreneurs, like, just if you can make that mental shift, that pivot, that your job is your number one investor.
Yeah.
And so when you get up in the morning, you're going to engage with your number one investor, and you're gonna give them the time, you're gonna give them the attention, you're gonna give them the accountability, all those things you need, because if you are able to successfully do those things, then you know what, your entrepreneurial venture will continue to flourish, or at least have a fighting chance to flourish.
Yeah.
All right, so as you see, that's Tabitha Brown. Then, like I said, I play Shawn. If you want to see the full episode, I'll put it in the show notes. A link to the show notes so you can watch the full episode on multiple platforms, right? But the reason why I say this is a great quote, because my business would not be where it's at right now as far as investments if it wasn't for my job, if it wasn't for my 9 to 5, if it wasn't for my wife's job, it wasn't for that moment of us putting into it without the struggle. You know, I'm not in a space where I have to try to create out of desperation, whether now I can create comfortably, because I'm in a space of I have this 9 to 5, I have this job. Now, I want to also say, just because I have the job, I'm not going to be comfortable. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to put all my effort in. I'm going to do other things. And my advice to you, if you're a person who's working a 9 to 5 or working a 6 to 10, whatever your hours are, you have to prioritize your time. There was a quote from Kofa, that he said to me. My bad, Kofa, say your name wrong. So there's a quote from Kofa. He said, the 8-hour day, 8-day week, and how he kind of wake up 4 hours earlier each day to give himself an extra 24 hours. And he does it 6 days a week. So in what space that you could move away something that you were spending time on for 4 hours, that you could move towards your goal? You know, is it the binge watching of some stupid show on Netflix? Is it the doom scrolling on social media? Is it the, just chatting it up with your friend that want to gossip about somebody from high school? Whatever it is, detach yourself from those and put that towards your business before or after work. Let your 9 to 5 be your number one investor of your business. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. Also, let me know how you feel about this, you and I, me and you in the woods, not the big production, not us at West Park Creative Studios, not the big old shore mics and the whole lights and multiple camera angles, just me and you in the woods. I just want to do something different to see if we can bring a different perspective on the content that we bring here on Wins and Lessons. I appreciate y'all. And don't forget, 1st and 15th of the month, we drop a new episode. All right, so see y'all on the 1st or see y'all on the 15th. Just make sure I see y'all. And don't forget, there's no losses in life, only lessons. Don't let that message that Tabitha Brown said get to you. Just take the message and move on and move accordingly. Peace.